Hi everyone, welcome to this edition of Addington News. The COVID situation continues. Darren, update us this week because you've got some additions.
Yep, so last week we talked about having some owners available and spectators available for owners, and we had a very small group take that up. And of course, once they're in that bubble, they can't go near the stables, so that's a little bit frustrating for those people. So the majority of people stayed in the stables bubble or work bubble. But we're going to add members this week to that group for the next 3 meetings leading up to Cup meetings, so we've got 3 to go. So members have taken that up quite good. There's about 60 of them there so far, and we haven't closed. It'll close tomorrow on Thursday at 10 o'clock, so you do need to register, need to go through that process. So each week we're trying to add another group, trying to do it in line with the announcement on a Monday and waiting to see what that announcement was. This one didn't give us much more information. All it effectively did was take each bubble up to the capacity of the room, so it didn't really help us at all. We are looking at perhaps some trackside dining next week with a separate bubble, so stay tuned on websites and everything for that. But members are welcome with that group this week.
The situation around Cup time continues to evolve. 19th of October is still D-Day in terms of infrastructure, so until then there's actually not a whole lot to add.
No, there's not. We are working up each one of those plans, and there is some frustration. You know, we've even had some comments about the seating bowl this week and about whether we could have access to that seating bowl. At the moment, we're not doing that because people have to socially distance and everything else, and we're not running the risk of tripping ourselves up with any mistake leading up to Cup meeting. And compliance last Friday night was very frustrating.
Yeah.
We had some people that we didn't let onto the course. So we're going to stick to the rules, and that's what we're going to do. What I can say, I guess, is we'll have some more information about what owners might look like for Cup meeting. It'll certainly be bigger than the groups we're running at the moment. Under level 2, it will be a ticketed event, however we do it, including owners. So they will have to have a ticket to get onto the property. If you've got a ticket, you won't be coming. But a couple of those owners groups are likely to include some hospitality options where they would have to purchase a ticket so that they can be waited service to their table and all those scenarios. So we're working up each level of that, and hopefully there's something inside each level of that that suits that particular owner. So they're not all the same.
No. Sustaining payments for the IRT New Zealand Cup, they're due.
Yep, the IRT New Zealand Cup and the Dominion are due on Wednesday next week at 3 o'clock. So we've had a couple of withdrawals. Matuatana, Santana Matt come out, Johnny Matt come out, Copperhead Rose, unfortunately. Great story by David Soma there on HRNZ, terrific story, and of course with the Blair Vining colours as well. And there was one other horse, AG's White Sox, come out. But fixed odds markets from the TRD are all open for those. Go and have a look at those, and rankings are out and been updated. A wee bit of movement there.
Yeah, there has been. The Futurity wasn't run, one of the heats leading into Showday's final wasn't run this week, but you're going to try and do that again?
Yeah, so we'll program that next week. So that's the maiden Futurity prelude. Didn't get enough horses this week with Methvin and all sorts of other things on, probably scattered them a wee bit. We'll program that again next week for those horses that want to take part in that.
10 races this week, 8 minutes past 5 the first. Gee, there's some cracking horses resuming. Pace and Pride, Shan Noble. Want to Play With Me's already had a run this time and was excellent. She goes around the $20,000 race. There's some very, very good horses here Thursday.
Yeah, no, there is. Look, we had a great night last Friday night with the Premier League. 1.2 million. So it was down $100,000 on the year before, so we did 1.3, but that's with all of Auckland's retail shut, which we're estimating is costing us a couple of $100,000 a metre. So we think we would have been up, but 1.2 million, gee, we're pleased with that. It was a really good night.
Time in a Bottle. She's been an absolute gem. I think she started 40 odd times in the last season here at Addington and won 7 or 8 races. She's had to be retired.
Yeah, look, she has. John Mounts emailed me, texted me a couple of weeks ago, and I actually forgot about it, so sorry to John. But to Sandra and John and the whole team that were looking after her, what a great job she did here. She turned into a bit of a punter's favourite. Every week she went out.
She had a real following.
Just an ATM machine. She ran a place every week, and sad to see her retired, but I'm sure she'll find a home in the Broodmere paddock and she'll be looked after for a long time. She won $100,000, so lovely horse.
Yeah, look, the video you've got for this week, Speaking of lovely horses, well, he actually wasn't a lovely horse, but man, he had a motor. We're talking about Lord Module, and the following he had in the late 70s was nothing short of enormous.
Yeah, so look, it's 40 years at Cup meeting since Lord Module won the Alan Matson Free for All, which was one of those memorable races, and people's just sort of burned in your mind a wee bit like the Bone Crusher Waverley Star race. It's just one of those races you go to. We were actually planning a function with the Hall of Fame, the Addington Hall of Fame here. Unfortunately, with COVID restrictions, we've had to drop that, but we don't want to let this go past without recognising this. Encourage you to share the video and share Addington News this week, because he does play up again, Lord Module, as he did in the score up, and he does gallop, and then he takes his position. I think I was 15 at the time.
Yep.
You would have been younger.
A little bit younger, but yeah.
But it's one of those races that the crowd started cheering as soon as he took his place. Of course, it's the year that the Ashburton Flying Stake was run here. El Regal won that when the track was being done at Ashburton, and Armalite run fourth. Of course, she came out and smashed them senseless in the New Zealand Cup. Lord Module couldn't take his place in that race because he was stood down from standing starts. He went round an Armalite's world record free-for-all and run last.
2:23.5, yep.
And then he come out after galloping, scored up, and
did this.
And did something that is just unbelievable. The runner-up was Gamelite, Armalite, hands down, Bonnie's Chance, Quiet Win, Idle Might, False Regal, Trio, Glen Moira, and Superior Chance. Unbelievable field.
Yep.
And he did something absolutely spectacular. He's something that's treasured here at Addington as being one of those feature races at Addington that people love to see. Footage is a wee bit grainy. Rion Murtha at his absolute best, especially past the post. So we're going to leave you with that on the way out. One thing to have a look at is HOF, Hall of Fame, hof.co.nz is the Addington Hall of Fame website. A whole lot of memorabilia stuff on there that people will be interested in. But we want to salute 40 years since Alan Matson Free for All was won by Lord Module on the way out. Have a good night Thursday night.
Now the field mobile for the Alan Matson Stakes. Field mobile behind the Alan Matson Stakes. Lord Module settling down now, is accelerating up towards them. Armalite the inside and Gamelite the outside, and hands down's up 3 wide. They were followed by Bonnie's Chance looking to get into the clear, and here's Lord Module. Oh, he's putting it up, brilliant run down the outside. Gamelite and Lord Module's coming down the outside, they'll love it. Lord Module's gone to the lead. Lord Module's going to win the Alan Matson Free for All from Gamelite. Third home Armalite, hands down, and Bonnie's Chance in a photo. 3 lengths further back to Quiet Win, False Regal, Idle Might. 10 lengths back to Trio. They were followed home by Glen Moira, and last in Superior Chance. They won't stop clapping this side of next week. Lord Module has won the Alan Matson Free for All, and they started to cheer 200 metres out, and he's gone 3 minutes 15.3 unofficially. Lord Module, if anybody can hear me on course, has gone unofficially 3 minutes 15.3, which will be a new world record run in cold conditions and a strong easterly wind.